at Nissan Stadium in Tennessee. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Tennessee Titans. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Let's go. At their own 24-yard line.
Hey, we got a seal. We got a seal. We got a seal.
Good track. Good track.
First carry for Darius Geis. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at a 45. An 11-yard pickup for the Titans and a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Mariota.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
Left. What we got? What we got? What we got?
Mike 8.
Again, it's Mariota. Slings this deep from McLaurin. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10.
Got it.
55.
Bound to lose one.
Double time. 3 down. Shit.
61. Matchbox lights.
Whip.
Hey!
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And this one will go to the 28-yard line.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
60 Pittsburgh.
They go play action. Rivers. He gets this to Devontae Adams. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because
a big seam, and he might go all the way. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36.
At their own 36-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
On 3rd down, Mariota. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. 35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they can
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Come on, set. 60 or. Got to do better. Come on, QB. Go.
3rd and long for Rivers. And the pressure gets to him again. Jeffrey Simmons. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And that's a 48-yard punt with the coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And it'll be Titan football. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all. And let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about
the Red Sea parts, and there he goes. Touchdown, Titans. Marquise Goodwin, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. 7-7, our score after one.
With the score tied 7-7.
Ready, set. Took the ball. 3-2 jet bomber. 3-2 jet bomber. Shoot.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46.
Protein spill.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry all the way.
Deep grip. Deep grip.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Rivers. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Rivers. Yeah, he'll find Hall. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Cook. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
And not much running room. Down to the 32. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
On 3rd down, Rivers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Harold Landry in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield? The ball got halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it, but it just kept carrying, and he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Now Mariota. He finds Corey Davis. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A good pickup there at 22.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone could have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. Got a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other. A gain of 6.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15.
Hey, we got to seal. We got to seal.
Here's Mariota. He gets it in the hands of Geis. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Mariota. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 17 yards, 1st down, Vikings. A 1st down throw here for Rivers. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Play action now. Rivers. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
His throw caught right around the 6. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
30 base. Let's go, D. Tighten up. Let's go. Go.
To the air again here, Rivers. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd and goal. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now.
Team 6. Team 6. Watch twins.
Again, it's Rivers. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
You got three. Three down. Mike.
Mariota now. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Now Tennessee going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hey, we got three down. Mike 8. Three.
From the gun, Mariota. His throw incomplete. He was trying to get it to Terry McLaurin, and it's 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Throwing again, Mariota on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Titans will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. To throw, Mariota uncorks one for Davis. Now this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. Picked off at about the 31. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 28-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire half.
And this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Now Rivers toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite, but in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Again, they run. Again, it's Geis. And he's got some space here. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. And he's going to get this all the way down to the Vikings' 32-yard line. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Mariota now to throw on first down. It's caught by Davis. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Check. You go tight. You got
They'll try and get it with Geis. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
strong right. Out. 3 down. Out. 90 is a mic.
From the red zone now, Mariota. Flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Check. Run.
Geis with a carry on 2nd down. It's so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. Sets him up nicely. 1st and goal. It was a pickup of 14. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. On the ground, Geis. And the avenue collapsed for him as he's going to be held up short of the goal line. They're held again, and do we have a goal line stand brewing? It's 3rd and goal. Can this Vikings D hold up one more time? 3rd and goal.
Here we go.
They'll run for it with Martin. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. And not only will he not get in, he's going to lose yardage. They stuff him back at the 4. They stop him up short on 4th and goal from the 1. And the Vikings, they come up big down near the goal line.
Come on,
here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Ready? 15, line. 15, line. Here we go, let's bring it. Ready? 5.
On 3rd down, Rivers, and that's complete to Adams. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
A gain of 6 yards on the play. Brings up 4th down.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Now! Safety creep. Check 24, check 24.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll run for it. Cook. And he'll have the first down as he's up to about the 18. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Here's a 1st down throw that's complete. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st. That catch, by the way, number 542 in his NFL career, that draws him level with Lance Allworth, who was a Hall of Famer with the Chargers back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, the man they call Bambi. So if you're in that type of territory, catch the same number of passes he caught, you know you're on your way to a big-time career. And just think, he's not through yet.
Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a 1st down. A couple of 1st downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. Back to the ground, Cook. And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Again, it's Cook. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to...
And this is taken in at the 5. 39 yards there, a big one. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long. And I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them. And now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Davante Adams, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
Hey, a simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin, and it's 3rd down.
Record. My game. One. Army.
From the shotgun, it's Mariota. Uncorks one for Davis. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked by Tarvarius Moore.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Let's go now. 70, Indy.
I got him.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing Rivers. Going deep for Diggs. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead. But I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. The line of scrimmage is the 2 here on 3rd and goal. They'll throw again. Rivers under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8. Harold Landry racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is indeed good. And that will push the lead up from 26, and it grows up to 29. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Switch up, switch up.
On second down, Mariota again. He'll get this one complete to Davis. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Tennessee getting the first down on a big play of 18 yards. A first down throw for Mariota. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 33. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Harold Landry, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but second, third, and fourth quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you're going to win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time, and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that, and the bats start blazing, right?